How do you become the leader of any group you choose to enter? Well, a few basic facts that you have to accept. Their responsibility ends with being welcoming. You are the immigrant. They're already happy and they owe you nothing. You are not special, nor should you expect any special treatment. You are a friend of a friend or a stranger. So don't expect anything to be handed to you. You have to take it. So the first thing your mind should be set on is to take initiative and not build expectations because they don't know how special you are. Accept that you are unimportant. So your goal is to take that importance. So how do you do that? Step 1. Establish your presence. Much like a candidate running for any political office, the first thing you do is disassociate yourself from dependency. By standing behind or close to the only person you know, you're only reminding everyone that you are a plus one. You have to establish your presence as an individual, not as a friend of a friend. So, what you do is introduce yourself to each person in the group, even if it may take long. Shake everybody's hands and ask them individually, what do you do? What do you gain from this? 1. You treat them as individuals, thereby giving their presence an acknowledgement, which humans crave. 2. Nobody feels ignored. You have established equality. 3. You make your presence known. 4. By introducing yourself to each one of them and finding out a little something about their lives, you have formed a relationship with all of them. Knowing something about them is much better than knowing just their names. Lastly, it's not like you wouldn't have found out what they do eventually. You would have, sure, but by asking it, you create the illusion of being interested. Have you ever seen politicians on the streets meeting regular people? What do they always do? They shake hands with people and ask them, what do you do? Why do you think they do that? 2. Be attentive to what the other person or persons are saying. When your eyes show that you are listening to a person in a group, they tend to look at you as if they are speaking to you directly. Just a slight acknowledgement by being attentive gives you likability. Step 3. Be the initiator of topics and hide behind conversations, which basically means the conversation takes precedence, and this helps you with making people forget the fact that you are a stranger. Another thing conversations do is create a comfort zone as they promote engagement. It is the awkwardness and quietness that disappoints people. Engagement is very effective. A simple trick is to use trending topics as cues to start a conversation. For example, there's always a movie that is creating a lot of buzz or getting a lot of hate. Some news story, some controversy, but don't choose anything dark. Choose subjects that have a lot of scope for humor. That ought to start a conversation which you can hide behind. Step 4. You make them heard by your reactions and responses. Learn to emote, and not like a robot, you let it out. Enthusiasm shows you aren't simply present, but you want to be there. Step 5. Understanding the group. In every group, there is a main dude who talks a lot, others who have value but are relatively milder and restrained, and those who are there but don't hold much power. You start with them by giving them value that is not usually given to them in conversation, which makes them want to talk to you more and involve you in conversations even more. They are the ones who will give you familiarity in the group and make you appear important. The loudest ones are the easiest to win over, since they drift wherever the rest of the group flows. The relatively quieter ones are the ones with the actual power, because they think and say things based on what they think. So if you are receptive, bold, and funny, you have won them over. Step 6. Don't kiss ass. Take a shot when you get one. Men appreciate a little ball breaking. Just don't take it too far and don't extend it. Take one shot and make assessments. If you feel the person wasn't able to digest the joke, immediately extend an apology. Bro, by the way, that was just a joke. I hope you didn't feel bad. That's enough for a guy to forget all your crimes. That will show humility on your part and display that you aren't arrogant. By doing that, you convey that your jokes or jabs aren't personal, even if they are brutal. Because in a serious moment, you show that you respect him and you have no intentions to bring him down or hurt his feelings. Also, in case you apologize, move on quickly. Don't let the moment linger for long, as it would get awkward. Step 7. Respect. One of the greatest components in group behavior amongst men is establishing respect. You can be the biggest jerk on the planet, but if you treat those around you with consideration, they're going to follow you to the gates of hell. Men do not care about character. They judge you based on the treatment you extend. Step 8. You have to talk. If you don't know how to, watch part 1 of this video called How to Talk to Anyone You Like. To be a leader, it is obvious you have to be a good talker. But being a good talker isn't enough. Nobody enjoys a dude blathering about something only he is interested in. A leader knows how to create engagement. Your entire strategy on what you say should be based around the following model. 50% of what you say should be a mix of humor and gibberish. Basically, entertainment, which is the hardest, because one who tries to be funny is either funny or annoying. There is no in between. Also, humor is the fastest way to getting close to people. So, in case you aren't funny, steal. Observe what funny people do. I'm not asking you to become a professional stand-up comedian, so stealing wouldn't have any implications, and it's your only solution. 20% of what you talk is observation, talking about things around you. Why? Because they fall under commonalities. You are all experiencing the same things. 15% is reactions and responses to their inputs in their conversations. And the remaining 15% is solid core philosophies. You cannot be seen as a confused person at a time of a serious discussion on some serious topic. A leader always has solid stance on every issue. There may be things people may not agree with. But what your philosophies do is help the group in knowing who you are on a personal level. You will never find a successful politician who doesn't have anything to say about an issue. On the contrary, they always have a lot to say on everything because they want to tell you more and more about them. Not knowing or an ambivalent person is perceived as uninformed, thereby intellectually weak, which makes them unreliable in the matters requiring the brain. If you follow these steps over the course of time, you will without a doubt emerge as a leader of any group you enter. Now, you might question in this moment, but how would they choose me as a leader? Well, that question exists because you have in your mind the fictitious image of a leader. In reality, leaders don't get proclaimed. It's a silent process in which you consciously know you are the leader and they subconsciously have adjusted themselves in their roles. It is a democratic decision without voting. Lastly, coming to humans, the part where we give up. Because generally we think people are stupid. Before meeting them, you think, I'm stupid. And after meeting them, you think, other than us, everyone else is stupid. Strangers are the greatest discouragement because you get different thoughts from looking at different people. If it were the same thought, you would have dealt with it a long time ago. But that's bound to happen because of the lack of information. Hence, they're called strangers. Your mistake is, rather than waiting for the information to come, you fill that vacuum with assumptions, suppositions, and notions regarding how you may feel about them. And that scares you to talk to them. So let me tell you something about people. Broadly speaking, humans want to enjoy. It's their deep-rooted desire which they attach to almost every single experience in their lives. Think about it. People judge the value of experiences by the amount of fun they had in doing them. What do people say when they recommend an experience? You should try it, man. It was fun. You're going to love it. It's great. Every review that people give about something new has to hit on some level of feelings. More than often, people don't really care about the fact if they learned something or not, whether it is going to benefit them or not, whether it contains knowledge or not. People buy tickets to a great experience. Take yourself and the people you know. What do you watch on YouTube the most? Entertainment. Comedy. Not even clever comedy. Lowbrow, dumb humor. Despite knowing fully well there are thousands of videos on YouTube that will expand your thinking, broaden the horizons, you choose watching a moron. Why am I telling you this? Because you, before meeting a new person, suppose in your head that they are looking for substance which requires cleverness. No. To become able to have a conversation with anyone requires that you are a solid deliverer of great experiences. Sounds like a huge undertaking. It's not. All I'm saying is you need to be full of content which isn't boring. And that is what people take after an experience with them. I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to improve your English, you can join any of our social medias. Instagram, Facebook, we do daily exercises there. The username is adminsutra. You can find all the links below. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. And don't forget, you are awesome.